Okay, so it has been a minute since I've done a video. It's been a while, but I actually asked a couple of my clients for some inspiration, and it just so happened to be at the same time as something that happened on Tuesday night. So I'm going to tell you a little story, and basically the point of this video is for all the parents out there. So most of us that bring other children or bring children into the world or adopt children or become a step parent or any reason, our ultimate goal is to be able to inspire, motivate, and get those kids to grow up to successful adults. That's what we want. Our mission isn't let's have them just go through the motions and then they can live with us for the rest of their life. No, that we want to inspire and have them be successful. One of a very big key point to being successful is having a good work ethic. And having that hard work, determination, faith, creativity, knowing that you could do anything that you set your mind to. Those are all like good foundations for kids. So for anybody, but it starts from the ground up. Almost every parent knows that our kids are like sponges. Like I did a video about how yes, we need to be worried about cussing in front of our kids, but we also need to be worried about some of the words that we use. So instead of, being so worried about saying S-H-I-T, we need to be more worried or just as worried about saying can't and don't want to. I'm tired. I don't feel good. But you have to think about some of the things. I've also done like a challenge, and I actually wrote it on my hand where I said, try to go 24 hours without complaining. Here's the point of the video. So basically, I was inspired, and I've made a video about this before, and about one of my clients who had her kid that plays with that plastic food, and she usually plays with the burgers and all that other stuff, and now she's playing with the vegetables, and she put together a little meal and showed her mommy. Let me just get to the point here. The point is what happened on Tuesday. So Tuesday is like my I guess like my down day. I usually never set up coaching calls on that day. That's my night with my son. I pick him up early, all that other stuff. And now my son started doing Muay Thai. So me and my husband do Muay Thai and boxing occasionally. I mean, it's not something I do. I do jiu-jitsu way more than I do Muay Thai, but I like to kind of change it up. So my son now, they have a kids Muay Thai class, and then right after that, on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, they have Muay Thai and conditioning and all that other stuff. And boxing. So on Tuesday, that's my night off. On Thursday night and on Saturday, I'm working, so my husband takes him. But on Tuesday night, that's our night as a family. So I pick up my son from school at 2:40 after I'm done. So basically, you guys know my drill. I wake up at like 2:20 in the morning. I critique like 30-something food logs. Then I run on the treadmill, and I run 5 miles every morning. Some Saturdays, I run a little bit more. Then I shower, get ready, take my son to Nanai's house. Then Nanai drives him to school because I'm training clients at the time that it's 8:30. And then I go straight to jiu-jitsu while he's in first grade. And then right after jiu-jitsu, which ends at 1 o'clock, I'll go straight there and hang out. And his school gets out sometimes 1:45, sometimes 2:20. So pick him up, whatever. And then we hang out at the house, whatever, we eat. And then at like 4:15, we head out to Oakland. And that's where we go to CMT Athletics in Oakland. And my son does his Muay Thai class from 5 to 6. And then my husband and I do our class from 6 to 7. I bring a little lunch bag of food, crayons, and stuff like that for stuff that Koa can do while we're taking our class. That day, I don't know if you guys can see my little rock tape, which has been like angelic for me. But Tuesday was a rough day. Monday was really rough. My neck was really bothering me. I have a pinched nerve in my neck. I couldn't even turn my head. It loosened up. Then I got this on Tuesday, came to jiu-jitsu. I almost didn't stay for class. I posted a picture on Facebook, but I stayed. Felt so good. I rolled with 3 black belts and my coach, my new coach, Cashinho. And I rolled with him for the first time, and I was like really excited. So it was like a really good day, but I was exhausted. Like 2 hours of jiu-jitsu, 5 miles in the morning, picked up my son. And then when me and my husband go there, might as well maximize our time. We don't just sit there and watch my son. We go in the boxing ring because nobody's in there, and we put our gis on, and me and my husband do some drilling and some light rolling. So we did that for an hour or like 50 minutes. We usually get there early, so we get a whole hour of it in. And then at 10 minutes to, we put our wraps on and we do boxing while my son watches. Now, I was exhausted by the time we were finished. I actually had my gi over my sweatshirt. So I was pouring sweat from the light drilling and light rolling. Then I was just exhausted the night before. My son woke me up. And then I got up at like 3:20 that morning or whatnot. All I kept thinking, this is the point of the video, all I kept thinking is my son was tired. He actually fell asleep in the car on the way there. And then when he was just about to start class, he was talking about how tired he was. And I was like, I know you're tired, Koa, but come on, you got to do class. You know, you're an active kid. You want to do good in this. I want you to show Coach Alex how good you do on the jump rope and all that other stuff. So I couldn't go ahead and motivate my son to go do his Muay Thai class. And then all of a sudden, I throw in the towel on my boxing class. And literally within 5 minutes, I was so there. Like, I always say no excuses, don't give up, all that other stuff. I was that tired, and then my neck was starting to bother me a little bit because my husband was drilling moves on me and he was doing some chokes, and, you know, he didn't hurt me or anything like that. I mean, it hurt, but he stopped and all that, but whatever. The point is that my motivation is that my son was watching. There's no way that I can let my son be looking down, doing crayons, and then look up and see mommy give up. And it did something to me. And I'm like, I can't do this. I can't allow Koa to see me give up. And I just kept going. Because the last thing I ever want is for my son to, like, on Thursday night, him go to his class and he's like, I want to stop, Daddy. Why can't I stop? Mommy stopped. Because those little mofos will totally do that. Because they throw everything. Mommy said this. Literally. So you have to think about who's watching. Who knows? Who's listening? Like my son, I'll be like, Koa, 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 and he'll pretend like he doesn't hear me. Then I'll turn around and by accident, I'll drop an S-bomb as I'm talking with my husband, and he'll be watching his cartoons and be like, I heard that. And I'll be like, you little... So you have to understand how much your children are watching you. And if your ultimate goal, and this is, I mean, there are people that don't have kids that maybe have a brother or a sister or maybe a parent or somebody that could be a little bit healthier that you want to motivate and inspire. But you have to, the parents out there, you have got to choose your words wisely. You have got to watch your actions. You have got to think about what you're showing your kids when you stop. Like, I wouldn't even say you're tired. Like, just keep that stuff to yourself, because it's like you're sitting there and you're like, I'm tired, I'm tired. You're attracting more tired. What I had to do as I was sitting there with bags under my eyes doing class, like jump roping like a mummy, and then I'm like, I'm not tired. Okay, I got to do this. I got to do this for Koa. And that's what you have to think. And it's so important that us parents out there think that. And if your motivation, and I talk about awaken the giant within, and if you link enough pain and enough pleasure to something, you're more likely to stay motivated. Here is some pain for you. Think about that child living with you until they're 30-something years old, 40-something years old. You have to take care of them. You have to lend them money because they're not doing well in their job. They can't get a job because they don't have a good work ethic. They're lazy. And that's what, when you act like that, that's what you create. We already have enough, or you could possibly partake in. Your kids have a lot of other outside influences, you know, teachers and all that other stuff, and coaches, if they do any sports, and other students. And, you know, the last thing you want, I mean, they're already maybe hearing it from one of their friends that, you know, I don't do any sports, I'm tired, or what, just... But we have to do our best to kind of knock that out. Like even the same thing that I talk about with clients of mine that have negative family members, and we have to try to knock that out by like having like a subject changer, and, you know, trying to be more positive, and just be more positive for you, and then hopefully that, you know, it's contagious and that will inspire that negative person to be more positive, or you just have to shut that off. I kind of got off on a tangent. ADD's flaring up again. I am going to go in and I am actually at Cesar Gracie's. I'm going to go do my jiu-jitsu, but I got super inspired to drive here and do this. I got here early. I always get here early. So I want you to really think about that. And as you're out there trying to be healthy and trying to make life changes, and anything that you're doing, even if you're in a job or a new job position, think about what you're doing if you come home and complain. I mean, you can complain to your significant other, but I wouldn't complain around your children because that's what they're hearing. So I challenge you to watch what you're doing in front of your kids. I challenge you to 24 hours, 7 days a week, every day for the rest of your life, to not complain, to think about every time you want to complain how much worse it could be. And that's it. So here's to Koa not living with me until he's 40. Here is to some inspiration and motivation, and I'm proud of myself. I stopped doing my boxing, and I'm so glad that I did it. And, you know, if I it would have spiraled into feeling poopy about myself the next morning on Wednesday, because that happens. It literally, you give up and it spirals into other things. And maybe if I would have given up and then not done that class, maybe my son wouldn't have noticed. Maybe he wouldn't have thought anything. But then maybe it would have done something to me. Maybe I was sitting down doing something with my son, and maybe I was a little bit cranky, and maybe I kind of snapped a little bit. Like, literally, giving up affects everything, and you don't even realize subconsciously it affects your actions towards other things, towards, you know, the next day, towards that particular day, that night, how you react towards others. Most of the time, and I always say this in reference to one of the 4 agreements, a lot of the times when people act a certain way, it's really truly how they feel about themselves. So who knows? What if I was to get mad at somebody or get a little irritated with something? That's a reflection of how I feel about myself because I gave up on boxing. And literally, I kept thinking in the back of my head, and I know it's funny, I think it's the hangover. I'm like, am I going to die? Literally, if I do this class, am I going to die? But did you die? So, leave you on a funny note. Okay, so I am going to go do some jits, and peace, people. Stay positive, stay inspired. Yeah, and thank goodness that it's, I think the last video was 3 weeks ago, so hopefully there's not another 3 weeks before the next one. Love you!